On 13th September 2017, my name is Annick. I am a student in the Bachelor's of Arts program with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University, and I am conducting this interview as part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use this information in government and due deliverable I am working on for Contribute to Society project. The interview will be used to create the government and due deliverable and be submitted to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This record will be used as solely for this purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored for America Online evaluation system, to which only the evaluator and College for America College for America star will have access. Do you have any question?
No.
No.
Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Could you please read this statement?
I, Shimna Bonen, give my informed consent to practice in this interview to be recorded and used as part of the student academic work.
Okay, thank you very much. Could you please read this consent?
I, Waisenga Esperance, give my information content and participate in the interview to recorded and user party of student academy work.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello to everyone. My name is Annick. I'm going to give a presentation on the project called Contribute to the Society. I'm having about 4 questions that I'm going to ask different citizens. I'm having 2 people, and I'm going to give more clarification after asking them and getting their answers. So let me start with this guy. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine.
So I'm going to ask you one question. What are the 3 branches of the government?
The 3 branches of the government are legislative, executive, and judiciary.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
As he said, normally in the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the United States divides the federal government into 3 branches to ensure a central government in which no individual or group gains too much control. So we have, as she said, we have legislative, which makes law and includes the Congress, both Senate and the House of Representatives, and several agencies that provide support services to the Congress. We have also executive, which carries out and enforces the law. It includes the president, the vice president, the cabinet, executive department, independent agencies, and other board, commission, and committees. We also have judicial, which interpret the meaning of laws, applies laws to individuals, cases, and decide if laws violate the Constitution. It's comprised of the Supreme Court as well as other federal courts. So I'm going to ask him also the second question. What does each branch do?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay, no problem.
Thank
So
you.
the way these branches do, we have like here we have a triangle where at the top we have executive, at the bottom corners we have a legislative and judicial. In all these branches of the government are connected to each other, and each one has its own responsibilities and its own powers. So a system of check and balance prevents one branch from gaining too much power. For example, one way is through the process of creating laws. For example, the Congress is responsible for making laws, and it starts to process as a bill. And the bill goes to the president, who review it. If he likes it, he signs it, and it become a law. If he does not like it, he veto it. When the president decides to veto a bill, the Congress can vote on it again. If 2/3 of the Congress vote in favor of the bill, they override the veto and the bill becomes a law. The judicial branch can review law made by the Congress and approved by the president. They are responsible for deciding if the law agrees with the constitution. So I'm having also the third question that I'm going to ask this lady. Hi. So I'm going to have like Democrats and Republicans are the major parties of the government. Can you please tell me the third party? Yes, the third party is is third. Thank you very much. So as she said, the third party is third, which has minor people. So from the beginning, in 1789, the U.S. didn't have a two-party system. It had only George Washington, a president without a party. So during his two terms, a rivalry grew between John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, who were both Federalists. Jefferson challenged Adams under the banner of Republican Party. So democratic implies will of people. The word Republican means rule of laws. The Democratic Republicans kept presidency from 1800 1800 through 1828. In 1828, Andrew Jackson became the first president from a new party, which was the Democratic Party, which held the White House until 1860. The Northern abolitionist movement gave birth to the new party in 1856. Republicans, which was Republicans, where Abraham Lincoln was the first president. In 1864 marked the beginning of the two-party system of Democrats and Republicans. This is like a short history of how Democrat and Republican started. The impact of the third party, the third, which is the minor party, has the impact on the nation, on the political nation. The first impact is that it introduced new ideas. The second is that it put issues on the agenda. It spoiled the election and it kept the major parties honest. So I'm having the last question that I'm going to ask. Can you please tell me the basic process by which a bill becomes a law? You don't know, no problem. Let me ask, could you please tell me the basic process by which a bill becomes a law?
A bill become a law when a president signs on it.
Okay, thank you very much. As he said that a bill become a law when the president signs on it. Normally, it starts from the legislation, where any member can introduce a piece of legislation. In the House, the legislation is handed to clerk of the House or placed in the hopper. In the Senate, members must gain recognition of the presiding officer to announce the introduction of a bill during the morning hour, and in case any senator objects, the introduction of the bill is postponed until the next day. In this process, which is the legislation as it is introduced, a bill is assigned a number and a bill is labeled with a sponsor name. A bill is sent to the government printing office and copies are made. Senate bills can be jointly sponsored, and also members can co-sponsor the piece of legislation. After that, the committee, there is the action of the committee, where the bill is referred to the appropriate committee by the Speaker of the House or the presiding officer in the Senate. Also, the bill may be referred to more than one committee, and it may be split so that parts are sent to different committees. Okay. The failure to act on the bill is equivalent to the killing it. Bills can only be released from committee without a proper committee vote by a discharge petition and signed by a majority of the House membership, which is 218 members. The third process is the third step is the through action, where registration is placed on the calendar, and in the house, bills are placed on one of the 4 house calendar according to the order of which they are reported. In the House of Senate, registration is placed on the legislative calendar. So after that, there is the next step is the debate, where in the House, debate is limited by the rules of committee, and debate is guided by the sponsoring committee, and time is divided equally between the proponent and the opponent. The committee decides how much time to allot to each person, and amendment must germane to the subject of a bill, and no riders are allowed. The bill is reported back to the House and is voted on. In the House of Senate, debate is unlimited unless culture is invoked. Members can speak as long as they want, and amendment needs not be German riders are often offered. After the step of debate, there is the next step, which is voting, whereby a bill is voted on, and if passed, it is then sent to the other chamber, unless that chamber already has a similar measure under consideration. If either chamber does not pass the bill, then it dies. And if the House and Senate pass the same bill, then it is sent to the president right at that time. If they pass different bills, they are sent to the conference committee. After voting, there is the conference committee. Members from each house form a conference committee and meet to work out the differences. So if, like, in case the bills which were presented were different, the representative from each house work to maintain their version of the bill. And if the conference committee reaches a compromise, it prepares a written conference report, which is submitted to each member. The conference report must be approved by both the House and the Senate. Then, after all that process, the bill is passed to the president, whereby the bill is sent to the president for review. And a bill becomes a law if signed by the president, as that guy said. And if not signed within 10 days and Congress is in session, this implies that if a Congress adjourn before the 10 days and the president has not signed the bill, then it does not become a law. It is like it's in the pocket veto. If the president veto the bill, it is sent back to the Congress with a note listing the reasons why the bill did not become a law. And the chamber that originated the registration can attempt to override the veto by a vote of the two-thirds of those present. If the veto of the bill is overridden in both chambers, then it becomes a law. This is the steps in which a bill becomes a law. Thank you very much for listening to me.